Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
An incredible save caught on camera. A Sterling Heights police officer rescuing a man from a burning house. Heart-stopping moments not only saved that local man, but also his 3 dogs. Glad you're with us for Local 4 News at 11. I'm Devin Skillian.
I'm Kimberly Gill. Jacqueline Francis has more on this heroic effort.
From the front of the house, it looks like nothing happened. Most of the damage was contained to the back of the home. When the fire broke out, only Sean and his 3 dogs were at the house, and first responders got there just in time. This is officer body camera video from a house fire in Sterling Heights Saturday. As fire crews are in the front, an officer goes to the back, hearing cries for help behind a locked door.
Kicks in the door, he sees that the homeowner's on the ground. He's bleeding from the head, and he lifts him up and he brings him outside of the home.
Sean Sprinkle was the homeowner who officers rescued. Here's how he remembers it.
At first, I was trying to get the door open on my own, and then when I heard someone talking, then I started saying, I'm screaming, I'm in here, and then that's when I saw the door fly open.
Sean says he must have fallen when trying to escape the house. He was worried about his 3 dogs, who the officer also rescued.
I definitely have a different view on police officers.
Sean, whose wife and kids were not home at the time, has seen the officer body cam video of the rescue.
When I was watching it, it was still frightening for me. I'm still shooken up about it.
While the cause of the fire and extent of the damage is still unknown, he says that officer is his hero.
A lot of people will say, oh, they're just doing their job. But no, not everybody can do something like that, and I don't think they don't get the credit that they deserve.
Sean hopes to reunite with Officer Jesse Ingram, that's the officer who saved him, so he can thank him in person. Reporting live tonight, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
Oh, okay, Jacqueline, thank you.
2 weeks away from Election Day, and former President Barack Obama back in Detroit tonight, showing support for Vice President Kamala Harris. Obama was introduced by Detroit's own Eminem, and that inspired the former president to rap a few lines from Lose Yourself.
Now notice my palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, vomit on my sweater already, mom's spaghetti. I'm nervous, but on the surface I look calm and ready to drop bombs, but I keep on forgetting.
A standing room only crowd tonight at Huntington Place in downtown Detroit for the campaign event. It featured many top Democratic leaders, including Governor Whitmer, Senator Debbie Stabenow, and Alyssa Slotkin. Both Barack Obama and Eminem urging Michigan voters to cast their vote for Kamala Harris.
Going into this election, the spotlight is on us more than ever, and I think it's important to use your voice. So I'm encouraging everybody to get out and vote.
We do not need to see what an older, loonier Donald Trump looks like with no guardrails. America's ready to turn the page. We're ready for a better story. Michigan, we are ready for a President Kamala Harris.
Earlier today, President Obama joined the vice presidential nominee Tim Walz for a campaign rally in Wisconsin.
Meanwhile, former Detroit Mayor Kwame Kilpatrick joined supporters of the Trump campaign ahead of former President Obama's visit. You may remember Kwame Kilpatrick's sentence was commuted by former President Trump back in 2021. Today, Kilpatrick was critical of the former president's visit today.
I want the president to understand from me, Kwame Kilpatrick, that people, respect what he did in office. They respect him as a man. He's a politician, so he has the absolute right to engage on politics, but he's not the messiah or the father of the community. And to tell Black men, just because this is a woman running, you should be compelled to vote for her, it isolates men and women in their own households. And I don't believe he wants to do that, because all of us respect women. We respect Black women. We believe women can have that job, but not this woman.
And of course, he's talking about former President Barack Obama. In that soundbite, former President Donald Trump will be back in Metro Detroit for a pair of campaign rallies in Traverse City and Novi. Meanwhile, over 1 million Michigan voters have already cast their ballot in the general election.
Yep. Secretary of State's office says just over 5,000 voters have taken advantage of early in-person voting, including a record-breaking 2,500 voters, so half of them in Detroit. That was the first weekend, and that's almost 10 times more than we saw of the early voters in the primary this year. So far, about half of the absentee ballots that have been requested have already been returned. A church in the Ypsilanti area is rocked by child sexual abuse allegations after its worship leader is arrested.
Zachary Radcliffe faces 11 charges. His bond now set at $3 million. As Shante Passmore shows us, state police believe there may be more victims.
From leading Sunday service to landing in jail.
We were blindsided.
A leadership shakeup. State police arrested Zachary Radcliffe of Oakwood Church after launching an investigation October 2nd about the 29-year-old. The church has ties to Saline, but currently holds its services in Augusta Township. Radcliffe faces charges including use of a computer to commit a crime. Court records reveal he was initially charged with 4 counts of child abuse and 1 count of criminal sexual conduct in the first degree in June 2014. It's unclear why the music and youth director was arraigned for his 2014 charges 10 years later over the weekend. The headline stunned the Ypsilanti area.
The church in general, the people who put trust in it, it was just a huge breach of trust, I think, for that community.
In a lengthy statement, Oakwood Church shared it fired Radcliffe on October 12th. It wrote in part, "The safety and protection of the individuals in our church is what is paramount to us. We are devoted to doing what we can for the care of the victims of these crimes."
There needs to be some sort of, checks, because it keeps happening within the church.
Back at Lincoln Community Methodist Church, the pastor says investigators have not shared whether any of the allegations happened on its property.
Every organization involved with children needs to review those child protection policies and ensure that they're followed without exception.
Shante Passmore, Local 4.
And we should point out that Radcliffe is the son of the senior pastor. We reached out to the church for comment, but so far we have not heard back.
Former Taylor Mayor Rick Sollers is going to spend the next 6 years in prison. Sollers sentenced today in federal court on bribery charges. Prosecutors say between 2016 and 2018, Sollers used his influence as mayor to give a real estate developer the majority of tax foreclosed properties. Turns out Sollers was promised free home renovations and other items once the company had possession of those properties. Sollers is one of 3 people indicted by a federal grand jury in the case. Today, the Environmental Protection Agency teamed up with the city of Ferndale to accelerate the replacement of lead water pipes.
Ferndale is participating in the EPA's Get the Lead Out initiative, which aims to move the nation toward 100% lead service line replacement. The EPA will support the city in identifying lead pipes, developing lead service line replacement plans, and applying for funding.
We are partnering with Ferndale to make sure that they have the assistance necessary to find out where those lead service lines are in a way that saves the customers money. And we're so proud of the work that Ferndale's undertaking to identify them and remove them.
The $15 billion Get the Lead Out initiative is funded by the Biden-Harris administration's bipartisan infrastructure law. All right, time now for a check of the weather. Another beautiful day across Metro Detroit.
You've been on such a run, right? Brett's in for Kim tonight with a look at the first forecast. Brett.
Outside, a couple of drips or drops the rest of this evening and maybe parts of tonight. We do have more rain chances in the forecast. Now, tomorrow, it's really going to be up in the thumb is where we'll see the best chance for a drip or a drop. Most of us are dry, but it's really Friday that we're expecting our best chance for showers, widespread at times during the day. Could be impactful for high school football. With that being said, I'm really keeping chances in for the tailgate or earlier in the game as we progress throughout the evening. We should dry out and see some more clearing take place. The Local 4 game of the week is Belleville versus Howell. Should be a good one. And then on Saturday, State in the Big House visiting Michigan. It's going to be a cooler game, so dress with the big coat, but it should be dry with just a few clouds around.